Wonderful to see everyone here today. We're going to just wait one moment and to start. We have some colleagues backstage, but they are making their way to the webinar page. Can we check that everything is okay backstage? I see that we still have a couple of colleagues there. We can also start and then they can make their way to the webinar. We just want to make sure they're not, don't have any problems.
I will go check in a second.
Okay.
Oh, I think Elizabeth.
Thank you for joining us. Hello, everyone. Yes, please write on the chat. Where are you joining us from? I can share that I am joining from Puerto Rico.
Yeah, now we are fine. I think that we can start. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to start in 1, 2, 3. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all our colleagues joining us from around the world, and those of you that will tune in later for the recording. As chair of IFLA's Management of Library Association section, known as MLAS, I am truly honored to welcome you to this very special event presented by the Women, Information, and Libraries Special Interest Group and proudly supported by MLAS. Today, we are celebrating WILSIG's contribution to the global library field, its tireless efforts to amplify the voices and leadership of women in librarianship, and its forward-thinking approach to gender equity. From powerful convenings to impactful projects like the bibliography on children's books about women's rights, WILSIG has helped lay the foundation for continued progress in the area of women in librarianship, which if we reflect on the high percentage of women in which in some countries reaches 87% of the library workforce, we could say that librarianship matters, our women matters. I am also very happy to share that I am chairing the Committee on the Status of Women in Librarianship of the American Library Association, known as COSL. And I can see firsthand how vital these efforts from WILSIG are. For instance, COSL has recently addressed key issues such as workplace equity, caregiving responsibilities, career advancement for women, and the ongoing challenges of gender-based disparities in leadership. And these are not just national conversations, these are global imperatives. And today's event is both a celebration and a call to action. We are honored to hear from incredible leaders who have shaped the WILSIG's journey and to explore how can we continue to empower women through libraries worldwide, women and girls. On behalf of MLAS, I would like to recognize the last members of the Women, Information and Library Special Interest Group for now. As we know, this group will sunset. We are here to celebrate their achievements and to recognize the members. Jelisaveta Blagojevic-Milchanik, Chair from Montenegro. Marija Miletic from Croatia, member. Erika Rocio Quintana Montaro from Peru, member. Sadaf Rafiq from Pakistan, member. Shuming Tu from China, member. Molly Wagner from the United Kingdom, member. Polly Baruch Jones from the United States, member. And Antonella Lamberti from Italy, member and also speaker today. And on behalf of MLAS, I also would like to thank our esteemed speakers who will join us for a panel of former WILSIG convenors. Maria Cotera, co-founder and co-convenor of WILSIG. Natabik Kotso-Kwan, co-founder and co-convenor. She perhaps is not here with us, but we must recognize her. Mathilde Koskas, also former convener. Eviva Wainwright Lajoy, also former convener. Thank you, esteemed speakers, conveners, and all of you for being part of this important historical moment. Let's begin our celebration. And I'm very happy to welcome WILSIG convener Jelisaveta Blagojevic.
Thank you very much, Loida, for your very nice introduction, also for mention all WILSIG former conveners and as well as WILSIG members. I also would like to say thank you to you and your commitment to WILSIG work. And also for initiative to organizing this webinar. I am really happy and glad to have this opportunity to really welcome you all to this event where we really try to to review a bit how it was during over 20 years, especially in our panel discussion. But also now I'm going to share with you some of our, just a moment, to share the slides. Okay. Okay, to share with you current activities of WILSIG. I would like to say that despite the governing board decision to close WILSIG, we in fall last year we continue to work and to finish some of our activities. And when we, gathered in September 2021, we had a very tough task, like to create an action plan for next 2 years. And in that regard, especially in cooperation with Antonella and to Sumin, we created like 3 working group and started to work on a very importance objectives and goals in next period. And firstly, our main objective was to empower WILSIG, increase visibility and strengthen the impact of the special interest group work. And in that regard, we are trying to be in line with strategy for that period, and in that line with strategic decisions, IFLA strategic decisions like strengthening the global voice of libraries and inspiring and enhancing professional practice. That means that our main strategic focus was to produce and share resources and materials that inspire the profession and also provide tools and infrastructure that support libraries' work. As I said, we created like 3 working groups with 3 main tasks. The first of all was the preparation of WILSIG newsletter. And the main objectives of that working group was to highlight female librarians' contributions and achievements, facilitate global communication among female librarians, and also to share best practices for serving women in libraries. Because I would like to say that the mission of Special Interest Group WILSIG is not only to support women in librarian field, but also to strengthen the voice of women in general and to raise awareness of some important topics for their position. And I would like to say that we really managed to prepare our newsletter, and later I will show you how it looks like, and also you can reach it. It is going to be available very shortly at the IFLA webpage and also on some other communication channels. Apart from WILSIG, our goal was to, and it is Antonella working group, and Antonella is going to speak more about this project. I will just shortly say that it is about bibliography on children books related to women's empowerment, women's rights, and gender equality, and goals were to raise awareness of gender equality among youth, especially provide a source for educators, librarians, and parents, and finally to promote inclusion in diversity through literature. And our third activity was like to strengthen communication tools, and I'm very grateful to especially Tana and Maria who works on this task, and it was related to opening a LinkedIn page, WILSIG, also reactivated a Twitter account, Facebook page, also reactivate our web page and Basecamp a bit, but the fact that now we should close all of it, but I hope that our activities will still be alive in some other form, not another WILSIG, but in some other form. Because, for example, from decision of our closing until now I got like 3 emails from some different women in the librarian field that want to be the part of WILSIG. That means that WILSIG really has have a great impact, not only in librarian field. Also, as Loida said, I would like to say that I'm so grateful to all our members. As I said, to Sumin, Antonella, also Sadaf, Erika, Molly, Polly, Maria for really great commitment and support, and especially because they weren't demotivated results. Now I'm going to just to share with you how it looks like our newsletter, because we are really proud on it, and I hope that it will be interesting for others to see. Just a moment. Okay, I hope that you can see how it looks like a newsletter. Yeah, and it is really was like very committed work from first call and recalls for our papers, and we managed to prepare like 8 main articles that pass through different phases, including proofreading, technical things, design, everything. And here we have like articles from Zimbabwe, Slovenia, Montenegro, China, also Serbia, Peru, as well as Croatia. And there are also, you can see our, members of WILSIG, and how it looks like that is committed really to best practices and role models in this field. And there are really interesting and inspiring stories that you can read and share with your community and with your colleagues and etc. Thank you very much for attention related to my presentation. And now I'm so glad to share, to give a floor to Antonella to share with us her experience and her idea. I have to say that it's her idea to have that bibliographies. We started with it. It is in developing phase, but we hope that it will be alive under some other section. Antonella, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Elisabetta, for the introduction and for giving all the importance it deserves to this WILSIG. So again, good morning, afternoon or evening, whatever, to all of you from the rest of the world. I'm speaking from Italy now. We're in full summer. It's very hot. And I'm very happy to be here with you this afternoon to talk about this project that has WILSIG we had conceived, that is, as it was said, an international bibliography of children's books that promote strong, positive, and realistic images of women and girls. We thought to prepare it for a target audience of librarians, of course, but also teachers, parents, educators, anybody who want to improve their selection of children's books about equal opportunities for men and women. This activity is important, we think, because it helps libraries around the world, and not only, as I said, meet the needs of their young users, and especially girls, by providing books that encourage them to imagine a future full of possibilities regardless of their gender. What you can see on the screen is a sample of the bibliography as it will appear, as it can be, with only 3 books from 3 different countries. Scrolling down, if somebody can do it, you can see also the other 2 books that are, this is the Italian one. So why this bibliography? Because we believe that from a young age, it is crucial to provide children with powerful female role models who can forge their own paths and life to the fullest. Children's picture books can be an incredibly effective way of doing this. They engage young minds and hearts, often becoming a child's gateway to what is possible. If girls, we think, see themselves in a positive light and in a variety of possibilities in science, in art, in activism, in leadership, since they're very, very young, we saw the belief you have choices. Your future can be wide and open, and everything can be affordable for you. Literature, we know, is more than just entertainment. It is a seedbed of possibilities. So how we think to realize, how we have thought to realize this bibliography? First of all, we decided to involve the IFLA section, Children's and Young Adults Libraries, of which I've been a member for 8 years, to bring their experience and their professional insight to this project. They have already demonstrated their skills and expertise with another beautiful bibliography that is the World Through Picture Books, that is available online on the IFLA website. You can download it for free. It's an international bibliography of the best picture books in the opinion of children's librarian. And I really invite you to give a look to this bibliography. It was issued in the 2023 and includes over 500 picture books from 57 countries in 37 different languages. For the contribution to this bibliography, I really want to thank my colleagues, Sergi Arioglu from Turkey and Wei Bin Hang from Singapore, both from the children and young adult section now. So together with them and with other members of the section, we discussed about the target age range, for instance, of the bibliography, so that we thought about from 3 to 10 years old. We decided to include both fiction and non-fiction books in any language, in print or digital format, still in print, and other criteria. But first of all, last but not least, the books have to be books of high quality, because high quality of the books is a fundamental element to do any promotion of reading one can imagine. In general, we were looking for books, we are looking for books of high quality, as I said, that tell the stories of women who have been brave, creative, independent, and have shaped their own lives. The bibliography will not be exhaustive, we know, but we believe its value lies in demonstrating how deeply felt the issue of women's lives is in different parts of the world, and how crucial it is that it receive the recognition it deserves. So this is just a sample, as I said, and as many of you know, as it was said by Elisabetta, our group, our WILSIG, is going to close on the next August 2025. However, the vital themes it championed, gender equality, equitable access to information, empowerment through reading, as we see, and the others, must not fade away. They must be integrated, we think, into the activities of IFLA and its sections. Regarding the bibliography, I will bring this project with me to the children and young adult section, of which I am a member, once again. I hope to broaden it, to bring more voices in, and to deepen our discussion around it, to give a contribution, a small, modest contribution to inclusive, transformative reading experiences for all children and young adults in the world. So that's all. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Antonella. This was really a great presentation, and really highlight how important it is to, raise awareness between also among youth and among also children from that early ages. How it is important to be aware of position in society, and especially later when you enter that how to say use also to have your political rights and civic rights and etc. It is really important issue. And thank you for this presentation and for your time that you committed during all this period to our group. Thank you. And now we are going to our third part, as I can say, of our webinar, and it is related to panel and to discussion with former convenors. And it is really my great honor to have all of them here. And in that regard, there are three main questions that we are going to discuss. And first of that question for our former conveners that is going to answer it is what were the key achievements of WILSIG during your term, and how did they help promote women's rights worldwide? And please, Maria, as co-founder and co-convener of WILSIG, the floor is yours.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for the invitation to be here with you. Thank you very much, Elisabetta, for all the work that you are doing. I just want to start by saying that it's been 20 years of the Women Informational Libraries on the various forms that it has taken. Before we started in 2007, and we were a discussion group because special interest groups didn't exist at the time. So we were the second one after the New Professionals that was founded in 2004. But before that, there was also a lot of history with women in IFLA. And I want to recognize that. So this has been going on forever and will continue despite the current situation. So I believe that it will be working. So just to be a bit of the history, when I started, my first introduction to the work of the Women Issues Roundtable, as it was called at the time, was in 2004. At the first IFLA World Library Information Congress that I attended in Buenos Aires. And at that time, the group had been going on for quite a bit. It had been a section, it had been terminated, it had started again. And so what I'm trying to say is that please don't be discouraged by this news, because the women issues in the world have not been put right yet. Therefore, we as librarians need to continue working on them, and we have a voice and we can support. So this is not the end, it's just another iteration. So what I was saying is, like, in 2004, I went to this session during the Congress. I love what I saw. Lena Zitonen, who was the person at the time that was convening the group, the chair, it was a section at that point. It had been, as I said, a round table, then it was a section. She had been doing a great work. And there is some resources in the IFLA website about all those papers. So there's a very rich history, as I said. And then I went back to my library association. I asked if I could be nominated to become a member of the section. They nominated me. I went back in 2005, full of enthusiasm to work. And then when it was discontinued. So that was when we got the news. Exactly 2005. So it could be exactly 20 years that it was discontinued for the first time. And then in 2006, I got an email from very important people within IFLA, very important women that were in full positions. And it was 3 of us at the time. And Tavi Kokosoane, who is not here with us, but became the co-convener from South Africa, and also Claire Knowles from the US. And the 3 of us were tasked with reviving this group. And we say, yes, we accepted the challenge, we stepped to the plate, and we started working together. And Claire Knowles didn't continue with us beyond the first year, but Tavi and I did work together for a number of years. And during that time, we started the group. The first session was in South Africa in 2007. It was a very powerful one. And actually, on the website, you also have, on the women's website, the Women WILSIG website, you also have some of those papers from that first session. And at that time, what we were preoccupied with was how we as librarians, men, women, everybody, can contribute to the development of women according to the Millennium Development Goals. Jesus, it was a long time ago. But again, we are now in the Sustainable Development Goals, and there is a lot to do in women's empowerment, support for women, in the various actions of the goals of the SDGs. So the work hasn't finished, because this is still ongoing, because there's still so much to be done.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah, we still have, we still believe that we will continue our work, and it is unstoppable, I'm sure. And now I will be glad to hear answer on same question from Matilda. Matilda, are you here?
Yes,
Yeah?
I am. Thank you.
Perfect. You're
Hi,
welcome.
everyone. Well, Maria, you were the one who kind of inducted me into WILSIG at my first full IFLA, which was also in South Africa, but in 2015. And I had been a volunteer the previous year, so I saw what WILSIG was doing, and I really wanted to be involved in some way. And it just happened that the SIG was looking for a convener and an information coordinator back then. And I felt uplifted by all these women there into this role that I was absolutely not imagining for a second I would undertake at my first full IFLA. And that's where I met a lot of you. That's Tabi, of course, and Aviva as well, with whom we started working then on. Well, I think Aviva, you will have more to say on that, but I think what would become IFLA's first unconference in 2016. At the time, I was working with another American colleague as convener and information coordinator. But after a couple of years, Aviva joined me, and we really, whatever the names of our roles in IFLA were, we co-convened the group for a few years. And that's also one of the lovely things with WILSIG is the structure was so that it wasn't too bureaucratic, and we adapted to whatever situation we were in, and we were able to just find our place in IFLA in any way possible. What we worked on that I remember most was trying to create a network of women interested in the work, because SIGs have strengths, but one of the difficulties back then was you didn't have members. So you had plenty of people who were interested in the work, who wanted to know what you were doing, who wanted to do things with you, but you didn't really know who they were, how to reach out to them, how to organize anything with anyone. And as a young professional myself, it was a great way to learn how to coordinate people, how to have some kind of a grassroots organization take place. So that's one of the things I remember, especially at the beginning. One of my best memories is how we were able to work with so many entities within IFLA and beyond, like with indigenous matters, multicultural populations, the SIGs, of course, LGBTQ+, new professionals, health and prevention of disasters, like just a lot of them, but also more, I want to say, traditional units like the IT section, all of the metadata sections, bibliography, cataloging, subject analysis and access, the Committee of Standards, of course, MLAS, which is our sponsoring section, and entities like Libraries Without Borders. And that way, we're not limited to our sphere. We reach a wider audience. We have very open discussions. And we were, I think, able to help highlight how women and girls, in every aspect that the SIG covers, so as library workers, as information creators, and as information users, are a population that sometimes needs to be considered as such. And we were able to make it so that in guidelines, such as the guidelines for displaced people who have been in disaster situations and so on, the specific needs of women and girls are taken into account. So yeah, that's my stronger memories of working within the WILSIG. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This was a great insight. And now I really have a special opportunity to give a floor to Aviva, because I have to say that Aviva inspired me and energized to cover all WILSIG tasks, and I'm really grateful to her for her support, especially at the beginning. Thank you.
Thank you. That's so kind.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. So, Matilda, I think, covered a lot of what I would have specifically pointed to as the big overarching accomplishments. Similar to Matilda, I was basically brought to WILSIG by Ntebe. She actually introduced me to Mathilde in the hallway in South Africa, and the two of us basically worked together over that next year to create the unconference that we did in Evanston in 2016. And that was, I think, for both of us a real opportunity to see what sorts of things people wanted to talk about in relation to women and girls and information more broadly. And I think that a lot of that, so for me, I came into this space really from the focus of women in technology. So I was on the IT standing committee at the time. I came up through the technology side of librarianship, and I really started to see this real struggle with some of the sort of larger issues around being a woman in a male-dominated space, being a woman leader of a primarily female profession, but not necessarily a primarily female-led profession, which I think is an important distinction for us as we think about our work. And so I think a lot of what Mathilde and I did in terms of programming and bringing things together and how we were working with various groups across IFLA was really sort of based in a lot of those initial conversations we had in 2016 and really trying to address some of the things that people were really concerned about. So we focused a lot on the environment and the sort of larger world that we're living in, things that we could do to as Mathilde said, help displaced individuals, really working and collaborating across IFLA, because we felt that that was our greatest strength. And again, as Mathilde said, one of the things that we really struggled with throughout the entire time that we were in our leadership roles in the group was really this idea that all of us understand that the importance of women and girls in the profession and in our sort of broader global landscape is vital and important, and frankly, part of all of our jobs, but is not really anybody's primary job responsibility. And that made it really difficult for us to get people who could consistently volunteer and show up, because the pull was always, well, I'm really a cataloger, or I'm really a this, or these other areas that are equally important. And so we really, really were trying to find ways of really helping people understand that this is always part of your work and this is always part of what you're doing. And so I think that's what I would say what I would argue is probably the greatest accomplishment, was just the outreach and communication across IFLA and the partnerships that we did across the organization.
Thank you very much, Eviva. And now I'm going to second question for all of you three. It is how did serving as a WILSIG convener influence your personal and professional development within IFLA and also beyond? Maria, please take the floor.
Thank you. For me, it was very important because in my day-to-day job, there were lots of things that I wasn't doing that I suddenly had to do when I started as a co-convener of the co-founder of the at the time, as I said, discussion group, and lots of it appealed to my innate skills. So things that I would do naturally well, like organizing conferences. I remember we did 3 satellites in the time when I was at work. So we went to Finland and we went to South Africa. We went to Tampere to the Women's Library. So we did a lot of coordination, collaboration with other women, things that Eviva and Mathilde have already mentioned, the outreach, the partnerships, getting everybody together. So that was fundamental for me, because I did realize that at the time I was a cataloger in an academic library, in a very large academic library, and I wasn't using those things that actually I was passionate about and I did very well. And so I left my job. So for me, it really empowered me to realize what were my innate skills and that I could do other things. also within the field of libraries or outside, it doesn't matter. I will always be a librarian, and I continue very much being a librarian. But now I work on the other side of the profession. I work with a company that is a vendor for library systems. So I interact with librarians all day, every day. I have continued working with IFLA very closely, but really that opportunity to become the co-founder of the group allowed me to realize that there were lots of other skills that I had that I loved doing. So that was very important for me. It also opened other doors within IFLA, and when I finished as a co-convener, I stand to be a standing committee member of MLAS from my library association. And so I did that for 4 years, so 2013 and 17. And then I was a volunteer at IFLA for free congresses, which I loved. That was a really great opportunity. And I had the opportunity to serve our first Spanish-speaking president of IFLA, Gloria Perez Almeron, who asked me to just be her volunteer to the president and support her. So again, supporting the leader, I think that was something that was again an ask of me that I stepped to the plate and I did very well, not only during the time of the Congress, but with I don't know, supporting her with other things that she needed during the time of her presidency. So that was really a beautiful experience. And then, very importantly, I was asked to help fund another special interest group. And because I had that experience within the first one, then I knew how to navigate IFLA, and we all know it can be quite complex. And so I became co-founder and program lead of the Evidence for Global and Disaster Health Special Interest Group. So I did that from 2017 until 2023, I think. So I'm now in another section, but always for me, it's not really it's starting new things, doing things that haven't been done before, identify a need of a theme or something that needs to be brought into the awareness of the bigger group of people at IFLA and kind of starting something anew. So yeah, that's how I think I have really benefited. I think I have gained more than I have put in.
Yeah, thank you very much, because we now hear not only how we as a SIG empower women around the world, it is also how we empower ourselves, our strengths and our skills during work here. And also I should join it and to say that it is really amazing, because you are improving your networking, communication skills, organizing skills, everything. It's really, really great opportunity. And now, Matilda, please share with us your experience.
Thank you. Well, I was, as I said, a young professional when I started, and I was a deputy head of a big section of my library. Now I've become the head of it a while ago. So, I mean, being in charge of a group within IFLA, a group that is sponsored by MLAS, which is an important section in IFLA that has certain privileges and that gathers leaders in the field of librarianship. I learned so much, and it was, I think, as you just said, Elisabetta, very empowering, because I learned to just dare do things. I learned not to be afraid of organizations. I was lucky enough that my first start within IFLA was as a volunteer, the year where my country was the host country of IFLA. And so the volunteers, we weren't just there by, as an accident. We were trained, IFLA was explained to us how it worked at the time, which I didn't realize at first, but I realized as I went on in my quote unquote career within IFLA, and as I met new colleagues who didn't have that privilege, that it made me understand where I was. And with the guidance of experienced people like Maria and Tabi and so on, And I mean, Loida, you were there quite soon in my part of the WILSIG adventure as well. I learned, I know how IFLA is structured, and I know that you don't need to be afraid of the structure, and you need to dare and to go to people and propose new ways of doing things and ask questions, and not be hindered, not be afraid of the bureaucracy, basically. And doing unconferences, talking with everyone, seeing how you can gather a group of people from all around the world with different work cultures and a common language that not all of us, master at the same level, and seeing how you can just make it happen. You don't need to be in control of everything, because everyone in the room is willing to make it work. It also gave me a new approach to my job. I mean, I work at the National Library. It's a big institution. It's not big on, transversality or, bottom up governance or any of those things. But I feel like it's giving me an edge, that I have this approach where I know that you don't always need to be very vertical. You don't always need to be in control of everything. You can empower the colleagues you work with, and you can build things together. So it's been an adventure.
Yeah.
And I'm really, really grateful to everyone for that.
Yeah, I think that you said, the point, because you have to inspire others, empower others to work together, and that is something that make results, I think. And now, Eviva, please share your experience, and after that we will have one more question, and we just maybe have to be reminded to have like 4 minutes at the end for questions, at least. Yeah, thank you.
Sure. I guess I would say +1 to everything that has already been said. But I think for me specifically, that particular time that I was the convener was a complicated history, a period in IFLA history. And MLAS was deeply involved in a lot of that. And I think that for me, having had an opportunity to participate in that as a part of the MLAS experience, and really thinking about IFLA's position as the sort of meta group of library associations, and having that voice of the MLAS be part of that, and have WILSIG's voice be part of how we're talking about what's happening right now, and how we're talking about who and what we want to be moving forward, was an incredibly powerful experience for me as a leader. My professional career has changed significantly since I started my role within IFLA. And I moved into a senior leadership position. I'm now the director of my university library, and have been for almost 6 years now. And I will say that those experiences with MLAS in particular were just really transformative for me to understand and really think about how values play into how you want your organization to work, and what that looks like in a global context.
Yeah. It is really like a great responsibility, but also great opportunity to be involved in all of that. And now we have one more question, and it is regarding your vision for the future role of libraries, IFLA, and international collaboration in empowering women and girls globally. It is especially because WILSIG is going to close, and now what about our some vision for future? Maria, you can firstly. Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. I think that's where I started, by saying that the work is not over. Therefore, it will continue in one way or another. And it's up to us, all of us, to decide how and to support it. I love what Antonella said earlier, this great work that she's doing with the bibliography, and to say, okay, well, now this will move to the young adults, how is it called, this section? Sorry. Yes, exactly. And it will continue. It will continue. The new professionals can pick up some of it. It's up to all of us to continue the work and to make sure that we bring the issues that are important to us and to the women of the world, actually, and that permeate everything that we do, that we bring those to the table, that we don't let them die. And at some point, I'm sure that this will resurface again. I was very happy when I saw that the LGBTQ plus special interest group has moved to section. So again, those are things that a few years ago we couldn't see that happening, and now it's fantastic. So perhaps working with them, working with others, the women issues continue around the world, violence against women and girls, lack of economic empowerment, women in leadership, women in technology, the issues that the people was discussing earlier. So while the issues continue, we need to continue bringing those up, and we'll find a way to bring them to surface again. So that's my vision for the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Matilda, please.
Yes. I just want to pick up just where you left, Maria, because I certainly agree. And well, one of the reasons I know it's going to continue is that when I first came in and along the years, you told me the history of this group within IFLA. So I know it has known many incarnations and it will know many more. And I want to stress again what I said about what I learned in my position in that role, which is, yeah, it's gonna happen, but it's gonna happen because someone, a couple of people, it doesn't need many more, are gonna make themselves responsible for it. And I want to say, dare be those women. Anyone can do it. IFLA is not. Don't be afraid of IFLA and its governance and the size of it. You like, there's enough people who are interested and enough people who are in positions of responsibility and power within IFLA that will listen to you with, you know, so yeah, dare, if you want it to happen, you don't have to wait for other people to do it. But I also think, like, the corollary to that is also, to me, it was important at some point that it was not always the same people making it happen. I spent a few years in the SIG. Every time I meet you, I want to be there again. I want, like, when I first learned that the SIG was not going to exist in that form anymore, I wanted to talk to everyone and gather everyone and make it happen again. And I'm stopping myself there because I don't need to be the person who does that. You are doing great things, and I'm sure we have people in the audience today and people who are going to see this webinar later on who will self-nominate at this point to be the next generation of women in IFLA, whatever name it takes, whatever form it takes. Yeah, that's it for me. Thanks.
Thank you very much. It's so inspiring. And then Viva, please.
So just to basically say, Matilde made me think of there's a quote by the famous cultural anthropologist Margaret Mead, which is, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed individuals can change the world. In fact, it's the only thing that ever has." And that for me is what my vision for the future of WILSIG and the work that happens here is just that the people that have the vision, that want to do the work, will find a way to do the work, because it still needs to happen and the issues are still there We have not solved the issues of women and girls in the world, full stop. And that work is not ending, and the work that happens here is going to continue. And I believe that.
I hope that you hear me because I don't hear you. Do you hear me? Okay, perfect. Okay, great. I have some questions, but just to see if there is any question for participants, maybe for Antonella, for our great former conveners. If you are interested to ask something, we are here to answer it.
Well, we are going to-
Okay, I don't see it. I just really, okay, Maria, please.
Yeah, I just want to say something that I think
Yeah.
I'm keen to not finish this without mentioning the women that for me were very important as well, and especially because we have had that lovely thing about Maria inspired Matilde, and Tabe inspired Biba inspired Elisabetta. So it's all part of that. And there are a few names that I haven't mentioned that I want to mention before we finish, because they are the foremothers. And there are Lena Sitonen, who I also mentioned at the beginning, that started the whole thing from Finland. And Marian Koren from the Netherlands, who was instrumental and helped us a lot when we started everything. And Keira Seroka, who was the first African president of IFLA, who was the one that called us to action and is still active and is still fighting the cause for women. So these three women were very, very, very important for all of us in IFLA. And also to remember Beba Stankovic from Serbia, who was also a convener in between Matilde and I, and is also needs to be recognized along with David, that is now here with us. So I just wanted to mention those names.
Yeah, that is really great from you that you mention all people who involved and developed WILSIG. All of this was so inspiring for me, and I hope for all of us, also speakers and participants, to see all, how to say, but some cross-section, how it was work during all this period in different periods from different people, but still we deal with the same issue. And as Viva said, we cannot solve the problems that women and girls faced around the world, of course. But there is, as any library and librarian job is firstly to give knowledge to our users, to people who also, participate in IFLA webinars, different conferences and events. And the fact is to educate yourself, educate others, inspire them to be aware on their environment in school, at work, in any community. And now I think that we are 2 minutes before closing, and I would like to ask just if you want to say something more, for example, Matilda or Viva, if you want to share, something from your side, or Antonella, to her it. If you have some on your mind that you want to share with us, or we are going to close this webinar, and also WILSIG is closing, but our ideas and our belief in better profession and better environment in general at the global level is here. And we will still, I hope that also members of WILSIG will still have their position and role in IFLA, and to still work, bear in mind women's rights, because that is something that is integrated in our almost each task in library, and also at our other educational positions questions and tasks. Thank you very much for your time, and this is really was great and inspiring, and I'm so grateful to Loida as the chair of MLAS, and also to Paria as convener of new professionals for really overall support during this period, and especially for this webinar. Thank you, and see you again, hope.